Okay, let's talk about why immigration is not good for the economy. Now, the left often parrots that immigration is good for the economy and that the NHS would collapse without migrants. So let's explore that theory. Now, I'm not here to denigrate migrants or call for an end to all immigration, but I do want to discuss the reality and then knock-on effects of migration once you take away the politics and the money. I want you to bear this in mind, and I speak as a centralist, not left of politics or right of politics, but a centralist. I agree with many of the talking points on the left of politics, but I also agree with many of the talking points on the right of politics. So that being said, let's explore why I believe immigration in its current form is nothing more than the continuation of cheap labour for the rich and powerful. So let's use the NHS as an example. Now, we hear the media line constantly that the NHS would collapse without immigration. But is this really true, or is this just a line? We are sold to get around the expense of training. So as I said, using the NHS as an example, let's extrapolate the real cost that nobody wants to talk about. See, we are sold the line without immigration, the NHS would collapse. But do you know where is collapsing in real terms? Africa and the subcontinent face a critical shortage of doctors, nurses, and trained medical staff. The World Health Authority predicts a shortage of over 6 million doctors and nurses by 2030. Africa and the subcontinent is collapsing as the world steals the lifeblood of these nations to profit from their despair. Over 4 million children under the age of 5 years of age die every year in Africa and the subcontinent. They die of preventable diseases. And why? Because the left is obsessed with racism and calling everybody a Nazi that disagrees with their politics. So whilst you are waving your banner and screaming like a lunatic far-right Nazis off our street, remember this: 4 million kids die every year because you've stolen their doctors and nurses. Remember this: 26 million Africans with AIDS die early in life because of shortages of trained medical staff. So when you finish screaming at each other, Nazis, snowflakes, whatever the pejoratives is, remember this: every year in Africa and the subcontinent, 1.2 million children die under 5 of neonatal conditions. 800,000 children under the age of 5 die of pneumonia. 500,000 children die every year of malaria. 200,000 children die every year of diarrhea. All of these issues and diseases are preventable if it wasn't for the lack of doctors and nurses. I think the far-right Nazi mantra is starting to ring hollow, don't you think? See, the real cost that nobody is calculating for Africa and the subcontinent is a genocide every year. It's a preventable genocide if people just woke the fuck up to the reality of immigration. But this isn't just the NHS that has got its greedy claws into the cheap labour markets. Just Eat, Deliveroo, all of the major retailers are now feeding from the cheap labour markets. Minimum wage, no benefits, black markets, no pension plan, no holidays, no maternity pay, just cheap labour. This country is obsessed with racism and virtue signalling. But they've got no problem ordering a pizza from somebody that's had to travel 10,000 miles to get a job for minimum wage. So who is the real racist here? The ignorant left, or are these facts racist? Thanks for listening. My name is Russell Burton, and good night.